Hello friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So today we'll do one more analysis which is of the hands of the yogis and the saints. All those people who have that elevated spiritual state. So who are these people who I'm talking about? Are these those who have taken the, have worn the orange robe, or these are those people who have like renounced the worldly duties or who have taken the path of celibacy? So, in order to understand that all those archetype yogis and saints, let's do a comparative analysis of these yogis with a normal guy like you and me. So, the priority, how it would differ from a normal person to a yogi or to a saint. So, let's say a person who would be a normal guy, his journey would remain to be outwards. He just want to buy a car, he want to buy a good home, he want to have good amount of money stashed in his accounts. And in the case of a yogi, his journey would remain to be inwards. He want to have a union with the soul. He want to have a union with the God. God realization is his utmost priority. Now comes the, the preference of the joy and sorrows. So someone who is like normal fellow like you and me, his joys, his sorrows are restricted to the happiness and the pain and affliction of his nearer and dearer ones. But when it comes to the sages and the saints, they will be like equally affected to the pain and sorrows of whether it's about his neighbor's child or whether it's about someone suffering in the third world country. He would be equally empathizing towards the pain of those people. So, even let's say talk about the occupation. This guy, normal fellow, could be a doctor, he could be an architect, or he could be an engineer who knows how to build a building. But this guy knows about the secret functioning of the universe, on what rules the universe works. This person could be an astrologer, could be a numerologist, and he can just predict the events. First of all, you need to understand any kind of meta science, whether it's astrology, palmistry, numerology, it's about studying the patterns. Whether it's about studying the pattern of your hand and predicting the possibility of the event, or whether it's about studying your, the planetary transit, or it's about studying someone's natal chart and narrowing it down to a pattern, identifying that pattern and predicting the possibility of the event. But this guy knows about a saint, knows about your past, he knows about your present, he knows from what you were before you were born, where you are in this life and where you are heading. So, and even if we have to talk about the personal magnetism, so this guy's magnetism or this guy's charm or aura would remain to be restricted to a very narrow level. So, this person, some ordinary person, he might have lived his whole life in a neighborhood, but people in next block would not be aware about his existence, about his survival. Or let's say this person might have worked his whole life in an office or in a department, and people in the neighboring departments, people in the in different branches might not be aware that someone with this name has worked in this organization. But this person's magnetism would remain to be so strong that people would automatically be attracted towards him without him doing any kind of marketing, doing any kind of word of mouth, spreading any kind of word of mouth. People would automatically want to come close to him. So this would remain to be his personal magnetism. And whenever it comes to even the healing, so these people have got so staffs got such a strong energy in them that when they'll just kind of like the way we say in astrology, they are like some nakshatras which are devoted to the healing. The nakshatra Ashwini nakshatra ruled by Ketu, and the Sadbisha nakshatra which is ruled by Rahu. These people, it has been even written in the scriptures that someone who have these nakshatras or some certain planetary combinations very prominent in his chart, even if these people would pray for someone, those prayers also deeply affect and deeply work. So same is the case with these saints. They'll just look into your eyes and they'll just get deep into your soul. They have the power to fix your life if someone is going through affliction. And this concept can also be understood via the concept of the chakras. So you need to first understand what are the chakras which I am talking about. So that like the way it has been believed in Hinduism and even in the Ayurveda, that every single thing has got a circle of energy around him. So whether it's a grain of the sand, whether it's a flower, or whether it's we living human beings, we all work in those energy centers, the wheels. So there are like 7 chakras primarily. First chakra being the Muladhara chakra. So these chakras are the energy centers. So these are the points of intersection between the body and the mind. So like the way we they have been even associated with the lotus in our Hinduism. So like the way the the mouth of a lotus could be closed, could be open. So same is the case with these chakras. So these are the energy centers which just are responsible for our internal functioning. So let's say the 7 chakras which I am talking about are, the first is the Mooladhara chakra, which is found at the base of the spine. Then there is the second chakra, which is known as the Swadhisthana. Then there is the third chakra, which is known as the Manipura, which is found at the solar plexus. Then there is the fourth chakra, which is known as the Anahata chakra. Then there is the fifth chakra, which is known as the Vishuddhi. Then there is the sixth chakra, which is known as the Ajna chakra. And then there is the seventh chakra, which is known as the Sahasrara chakra. So what happens is that this Mooladhara chakra, which is at the base of the spine, so someone who has this energy got restricted to Mooladhara chakra, he would be still struggling towards the basic survival, fear, and all those problems related to earning his livelihood, how to make his bread and butter. So all his problems and his associations and his fears and priorities of life would be restricted to this chakra only. Then there is a second chakra, which is responsible for our emotions and sexuality. So someone who would be like having too much of excess of emotions or too much of sexual indulgences, so his energy would be restricted to this level only. But when it comes to the saints and yogis, so their energy is here. Even they have attained that kundalini, the kundalini which rises, the energy which rises from the base of the chakra and reaches the top of your head at the wheel of the enlightenment. So that is the only reason when we say you meet someone and when you meet someone, you suddenly feel so so low in energy, so dejected, so pessimism. And there are those people, when you come in contact with them, and when you come in close to them, you automatically feel uplifted, you automatically feel happy. So that is the only reason why, because when two people talk, not only the exchange of thoughts takes place, not only the exchange of words take place, we also interact via the energy of these chakras. So someone who has his energy and his chakras, all his 7 chakras activated. So when someone who would have his energy restricted toward the lower levels, and he'll come in contact with him, so he'll automatically feel elevated. And same is the case when you come in the contact with someone who has his energy restricted and on the lower levels, his chakras are blocked and restricted on a lower level, so he would automatically feel downwards. So this is how the energy functions, this is how things work. So I wanted to make this video to make you guys clear who are these saints when I'm talking about. That is the only reason they are like saints like Ramakrishna Paramhans and saints like Amma. If you'll just Google about her, you'll get to know that she just blesses people by hugging them. She has like hugged more than 30 million people across the world. That is the only reason, whether it's about the poor people of India, or whether it's about the orphans of Kenya, or even the celebrity Sharon Stone. So she just blesses someone when she hugs someone. So these are those people who I'm talking about. So let's not restrict the meaning of the yogis and saints to the celibacy or to renouncing the worldly affairs. Or just about the fortune telling. It's way beyond, way more than that. So I hope I made myself very clear on this. In our next video, we'll just study the signs, the patterns which can be seen in the hand of these divine and these spiritually elevated people. So for further more updates and notifications on palmistry, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page. Thanks.